Do you think a home is supposed to be simple? A roof, a door, a kitchen, a bedroom, and maybe a view from the window? Then explain this. A town in Australia where people live underground because the surface can feel like another planet. A village in Spain where houses sit directly beneath giant rocks, as if the mountain is pressing down on the street. A place in Iran where families still live inside volcanic cones carved by nature and shaped by human hands. A city in Italy where homes are dug into ancient caves that have held human life for thousands of years. A desert village in Tunisia where people live in deep underground courtyards to escape the sun. And a remote mountain settlement where homes seem to cling to cliffs, valleys, and impossible terrain because flat land is almost a luxury. Today, we are going to explore the top 10 most extreme homes on Earth where people still live. Not abandoned places, not museum sets, not fantasy architecture. Real homes, real families, real daily life happening in places that look almost impossible from the outside. These homes exist because people had to adapt to heat, to cold, to cliffs, to deserts, to stone, to wind, to isolation, to history, to land that refused to be easy. Some of these homes were built underground, others were carved into rock, some stand under cliffs, some rise like fortresses, some seem to float between danger and beauty. Every one of them asks the same question: how far can humans go to make a place livable? Let's begin. Number 10. Coober Pedy, Australia, the town that lives underground. In the middle of South Australia, surrounded by red desert and empty horizons, there is a town where many homes do not rise above the land. They disappear beneath it. This is Coober Pedy, one of the most unusual inhabited places on Earth. From the surface, it can look almost alien. Dry earth, mining shafts, red dust, harsh sunlight, roads cutting through a barren landscape. The kind of place where the sky feels too wide and the ground seems too hot to touch. But beneath the surface, life continues. People live in dugout homes carved into the earth. Bedrooms, kitchens, living rooms, churches, shops, and hotels can all exist below ground. Instead of fighting the desert heat with ordinary buildings, Coober Pedy found a different answer: go underground. The reason is simple. The desert can be extremely hot above ground, but underground homes stay far more stable and comfortable. The earth becomes insulation. The walls themselves become protection. From the outside, a house may look like almost nothing. A door in a hillside, a small entrance, a vent, a path leading into the rock. But inside, there can be a full home: smooth carved walls, furniture, lights, modern appliances, and quiet rooms shielded from the burning desert. Coober Pedy began as an opal mining town, and that mining history shaped the way people lived. If the ground could be dug for opals, it could also be dug for shelter. That is what makes this place so extreme. The town did not just build homes in the desert, it moved the idea of home beneath the desert. For visitors, it feels strange. For locals, it is practical. And maybe that is the real lesson of Coober Pedy. An extreme home does not have to look normal. It only has to work. Number 9. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain, the town living under the rock. In southern Spain, there is a white village where the mountain seems to have joined the architecture. Setenil de las Bodegas is famous for streets where houses, shops, and restaurants are built directly into the rock. Massive stone overhangs stretch above the buildings, turning the cliff itself into a roof. At first glance, it looks impossible. A street runs below an enormous rock ceiling. Whitewashed walls meet ancient stone. Balconies, windows, and doors sit beneath a weight that seems too huge to be safe. But people live here. They eat here, work here, walk beneath the stone every day. What looks shocking to a visitor is part of normal life for locals. The village grew along the gorge of the Guadalporcún River, using the natural rock formations instead of removing them. Rather than forcing the landscape to disappear, people built with it. That is why Setenil feels so different from ordinary towns. The homes are not simply placed on the land, they are tucked under it. In summer, the rock helps protect from the heat. In winter, it gives shelter. And visually, it creates one of the most dramatic streets in Europe. From a drone view, Setenil looks like a white village woven into stone. From street level, it feels like walking through a place where nature and human life made a silent agreement. The official explanation is geology, history, and clever building. But emotionally, it feels much stranger. Because every time you look up, the ceiling is not concrete, it is a cliff. And beneath that cliff, life continues as if nothing is unusual. Number 8. Kandovan, Iran. Homes inside volcanic cones. In northwest Iran, at the foot of Mount Sahand, there is a village that looks like it belongs to another world. Kandovan is known for its cone-shaped rock formations and homes carved directly into volcanic stone. The structures rise from the earth like giant natural towers. Some look like beehives, some look like stone chimneys, some look like the remains of an ancient fantasy city. But they are not empty. People still live inside them. The homes, often called troglodyte dwellings, were carved into soft volcanic rock formed long ago by eruptions and erosion. Over time, nature created the strange cone shapes. Then people turned those shapes into shelter. From the outside, a Kandovan home may look rough and ancient. A door opens into the rock. Small windows appear in thick stone walls. Paths climb between formations. The village seems grown rather than built. Inside, the homes can be surprisingly comfortable. Thick rock walls help regulate temperature, keeping interiors cooler in summer and warmer in winter. The mountain itself becomes part of the house. This is what makes Kandovan extreme. It is not just a village in the mountains. It is a village inside the mountain's volcanic memory. Families live in homes shaped first by fire, then by water, then by human hands. Every doorway is cut into geology. Every room is a conversation between nature and survival. Many places build houses from stone. Kandovan builds houses inside stone, and when you stand in front of those cone-shaped homes, it becomes difficult to tell where the landscape ends and the village begins. Number 7. Matera, Italy, the city of cave homes. In southern Italy, the city of Matera is famous for the sassi, ancient neighborhoods carved into limestone. From a distance, Matera looks like a city made of stone steps, cave openings, terraces, churches, and houses stacked along the side of a ravine. It is beautiful, but not in a simple way. It looks ancient, dense, rough, alive with history. The sassi are not ordinary houses. They are homes carved into rock. For thousands of years, people lived in caves and rock-cut dwellings here, adapting the natural limestone landscape into a complex urban environment. Streets pass above homes, rooms go deep into the stone, courtyards open into carved interiors, churches and houses seem to grow from the same cliff. Today, Matera is famous around the world, but its history is complicated. The sassi were once associated with poverty and difficult living conditions. Many residents were moved out in the 20th century. Later, the area was restored, reimagined, and recognized as one of the most extraordinary historic landscapes in Europe. Now, people live, work, stay, and gather again in parts of this ancient stone environment. What makes Matera extreme is not danger in a dramatic sense. It is depth of time. Most homes are built for one lifetime. Matera's homes feel connected to thousands of years of human adaptation. Stone becomes wall. Cave becomes room. Ravine becomes neighborhood. The line between house, street, and cliff becomes blurred. Walking through Matera feels like walking through a city that was not built all at once, but slowly carved out of survival. It reminds us that home is not always made by adding materials. Sometimes, home is made by removing stone until a room appears. Number 6. Matmata, Tunisia. The homes hidden below the desert. In southern Tunisia, there are homes that do not rise above the desert. They open downward. Matmata is famous for underground courtyard houses, a form of traditional desert architecture designed to protect people from intense heat. From above, these homes can look like circular pits carved into the earth, but inside, they are complete living spaces. A central courtyard is dug deep into the ground. Around it, rooms are carved into the sides, sleeping areas, kitchens, storage spaces, and family areas. Light enters from above, but the thick earth walls keep the interior cooler than the surface. In the desert, this is not just clever. It is survival. The landscape around Matmata can appear dry, open, and harsh. The sun is strong, the air is hot, the ground seems too exposed for comfort. But below the surface, life becomes more manageable. The home creates shade, insulation, and privacy. It turns the earth into protection. It also creates a feeling unlike almost any ordinary house. Instead of looking out from a window, you look upward toward the sky, from inside the ground. That reversal is what makes Matmata so visually unforgettable. Most homes face the world. These homes retreat from it. They do not fight the desert with tall walls and glass windows. They hide inside the desert and let the land protect them. For travelers, Matmata feels almost unreal. For the people who live there, it is a traditional response to a difficult environment. It is proof that extreme homes are often not strange because people wanted attention. They are strange because the land demanded intelligence. Number 5. Fujian Tulou, China. The fortress homes that became villages. In southeastern China, there are enormous circular and rectangular buildings that look from above like giant ancient fortresses. These are the Fujian Tulou. Built mainly by Hakka communities, Tulou are massive earthen structures designed for communal living, defense, family organization, and survival. Some are round like rings, others are square. Many contain hundreds of rooms arranged around a central courtyard. From the outside, a Tulou can look almost closed and defensive. Thick earth walls, small windows, a huge circular form. It feels less like a house and more like a village inside a wall. And that is exactly what makes it extraordinary. A Tulou is not a private home in the modern sense. It is a shared world. Families live in rooms stacked across multiple levels. The central courtyard becomes a place of gathering, ceremony, cooking, work, and daily life. Where many cultures build homes side by side, Tulou architecture brings many homes into one structure. The extremity here is scale. Imagine living inside a building so large that it contains not only your family, but generations of neighbors, relatives, and shared memory. Imagine a home that also functions as a fortress, a community, and a symbol of identity. The thick walls were practical. They protected residents. They moderated temperature. They created a strong boundary between the outside world and the life within. Today, some Tulou are visited by tourists, but many remain living communities. People still cook, talk, rest, and work inside these circular worlds of earth and timber. The Fujian Tulou challenge the idea of a home as a small private box. Here, home is a ring, a fortress, a village, a living circle. Number 4. Cappadocia, Turkey. Homes carved beneath fairy chimneys. In central Turkey, Cappadocia is a landscape of soft volcanic rock, strange towers, valleys, caves, and underground spaces. The region is famous for fairy chimneys, tall stone formations shaped by erosion over thousands of years. But the real wonder is not only the landscape. It is what people did with it. For centuries, people carved homes, churches, storage rooms, and entire underground spaces into Cappadocia's soft rock. Some lived inside cliff faces, some used cave rooms as homes, some built underground refuges and settlements extending deep below the surface. Even today, parts of this cave-living tradition remain visible in homes, hotels, villages, and restored spaces. Cappadocia is extreme because the architecture does not sit on top of the landscape. It enters it. Rock becomes wall, valley becomes neighborhood, a cave becomes bedroom, a chimney becomes shelter. The whole region feels like a place where geology and human life became inseparable. From above, it looks like another planet. From inside, it can feel warm, quiet, and protected. The soft volcanic stone made carving possible. The climate made thick rock walls useful. History made hidden and protected spaces valuable. Over time, the region became one of the world's most unusual examples of humans adapting to a strange geological environment. To a visitor, Cappadocia can feel magical. But to the people who lived there, it was practical. If the land gives you stone, soft enough to carve and strong enough to shelter you, you do not ignore it. You turn it into home. Number 3. The cliff homes of the Himalayas. Living where the land rises straight up. In many mountain regions of the Himalayas, homes are built in places that seem almost impossible to reach. Villages cling to slopes. Houses sit above deep valleys. Narrow paths connect terraces, cliffs, rivers, and fields. The mountains are beautiful, but they are not easy. Flat land is rare. Weather can be harsh. Roads can be dangerous. Isolation can be part of daily life. And yet, people live there. They build with stone, timber, mud, and whatever the mountain allows. They place homes where there is just enough ledge, just enough sun, just enough access to water, animals, fields, or trade routes. From a distance, some Himalayan settlements look as if they are attached to the cliff rather than built on the ground. Tiny houses appear against huge mountains, reminding us how small human life can look in extreme terrain. But those homes are not symbols of weakness. They are symbols of adaptation. In places like this, every part of a house matters. Thick walls help keep warmth. Roofs are shaped by snow and rain. Storage areas protect food through long seasons. Paths between homes become lifelines. The extremity is not one single building. It is the decision to live where the earth rises violently toward the sky. For outsiders, the question is obvious. Why build here? For locals, the answer may be just as obvious. Because this is home. Because ancestors lived here. Because the valley, the mountain, the fields, the animals, and the community are part of life. The Himalayas remind us that home is not always about comfort. Sometimes it is about belonging to a difficult place so completely that leaving would feel more extreme than staying. Number 2. The Faroe Islands. Homes under grass roofs and brutal weather. In the North Atlantic, between Iceland and Norway, the Faroe Islands are known for dramatic cliffs, green mountains, dark ocean, strong winds, rain, fog, and weather that can change quickly. Here, homes do not only need to be beautiful, they need to endure. Traditional Faroese houses often feature turf roofs, a style that helps them blend into the landscape while offering insulation against wind and cold. From a distance, some homes look as if the land itself has grown over them. Green grass on the roof, dark wooden walls. Mist behind the village, ocean nearby. The result is one of the most striking inhabited landscapes on Earth. But the beauty hides the challenge. The weather can be fierce. Wind can roar across the islands. Rain can arrive suddenly. Fog can cover roads and cliffs. The sea is always present, both stunning and powerful. To live here is to accept that weather is part of the home. The houses seem to understand that. Their shapes, materials, and colors do not try to dominate the landscape. They belong to it. That is what makes them extreme. Not because they are the tallest, deepest, or strangest homes on Earth, but because they show how architecture can become part of a harsh environment instead of fighting it. In the Faroe Islands, a home is not separate from wind, grass, ocean, and cloud. It is wrapped inside them. And for the people who live there, that is not a postcard fantasy. It is daily life on the edge of the Atlantic. Number 1. The cliffside homes of Nepal and Mustang. Life above the void. In parts of Nepal and the Mustang region, the landscape is so dramatic that ordinary ideas of settlement begin to break down. Deep valleys, dry cliffs, high plateaus, ancient paths, remote villages, houses made of stone and earth standing against mountains that seem too large for human scale. Some homes and old cave dwellings appear along cliffs, carved into or built against vertical landscapes that look almost impossible from below. In places shaped by altitude, isolation, and ancient trade routes, people found ways to live where the land was severe but meaningful. What makes these homes extreme is not just their height. It is the relationship between life and emptiness. A home here can face a vast valley dropping away below. A path may cling to a slope. A village may seem cut off from the rest of the world by mountains, weather, and distance. And still, daily life continues. People cook, repair roofs, carry supplies, care for animals, walk paths their ancestors knew, watch storms move across distant ridges, live beneath skies that seem closer than in ordinary places. For travelers, these settlements can feel unbelievable. They look cinematic, almost unreal, like places built for legends. But they are real communities shaped by geography, culture, and endurance. The official explanation is simple. People adapt to the land available to them. But the emotional truth is stronger. These homes show that human beings can make shelter not only in easy places, but in places that challenge every step. They show that home is not always where the land is gentle. Sometimes, home is where the mountain allows just enough space to stand. That is why the cliffside and mountain homes of Nepal and Mustang deserve the #1 place. They are not just extreme homes. They are proof that people can build belonging at the edge of the world. Conclusion. So, 10 extreme homes on Earth where people still live. Coober Pedy, where homes disappear underground to escape the desert heat. Setenil de las Bodegas, where houses sit beneath massive rock overhangs. Kandovan, where families live inside volcanic cones. Matera, where ancient cave homes are carved into limestone. Matmata, where desert houses open downward into the earth. Fujian Tulou, where entire communities live inside fortress-like earthen buildings. Cappadocia, where homes and rooms are carved into soft, volcanic rock. Himalayan mountain settlements, where houses cling to slopes and valleys. The Faroe Islands, where turf roof homes endure Atlantic weather. And the cliffside homes of Nepal and Mustang, where people live above deep valleys and ancient paths. What connects them? Adaptation. Every home on this list exists because someone looked at a difficult place and refused to leave it empty. Too hot? Go underground. Too rocky? Carve into the stone. Too steep? Build on the slope. Too windy? Let the roof become part of the land. Too remote? Turn isolation into identity. These homes remind us that architecture is not only about design, it is about survival, memory, and belonging. A normal house protects people from the outside world. But an extreme home does something more. It negotiates with the planet. It says, we know this place is difficult, but we are staying anyway. And maybe that is what makes these homes so fascinating. They are not strange because people wanted to be different. They are strange because people were brave enough, patient enough, and creative enough to live where ordinary houses would fail? Write in the comments which extreme home surprised you the most. Would you live underground in the Australian desert, inside a volcanic cone in Iran, under a giant rock in Spain, or on a cliffside village high in the Himalayas? If this journey made you see homes differently, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because in the next episode, we will travel to the most impossible towns on Earth, where entire communities live in places that look like they should not exist.